When did you realize you don't really have friends? I threw a housewarming party and invited everyone I considered close friends. 23 people said they'd come. These weren't random acquaintances either. These were people I'd known for years, helped through breakups, celebrated promotions with, spent countless weekends hanging out. I'd been planning this party for weeks, sent cute invitations through the mail, not just texts, made a whole playlist of everyone's favorite songs. I even asked what dietary restrictions people had so nobody would feel left out. The day of the party, I woke up at 6 in the morning to start cooking, made homemade spinach dip, chocolate chip cookies from scratch, even attempted some fancy bacon-wrapped scallops I saw on Pinterest. Spent 3 hours decorating my living room with string lights and balloons, set up a whole photo booth area with props because I knew people loved taking pictures. I hired a DJ because my friend Marcus had mentioned he loved good music at parties. Bought Sarah's favorite wine, the expensive kind she always talked about but said she couldn't afford. Got craft beer for the guys, soda for people who didn't drink, even bought fancy ice in those perfect cubes. 7 o'clock came, nobody showed up. I kept checking my phone, thinking maybe people were running late from work. 8 o'clock rolled around and my house was still empty except for me pacing around in the dress I'd bought specifically for tonight. I started texting people. Hey, are you still coming? Just checking if you're on your way. Tried to sound casual, not desperate, even though I was starting to panic. The responses trickled in like a slow torture. Sarah, so sorry babe, I'm feeling really sick today. Rain check. Mike, family emergency came up, can't make it. Jessica, work thing ran late, won't be able to come. Tom, my car won't start, so frustrated. All within an hour of each other. All with perfect excuses that couldn't be questioned. By 9 o'clock, I was sitting alone in my perfectly decorated living room with enough food for 30 people. The DJ was still playing music to an audience of 1. I felt pathetic, like the biggest loser in the world. I posted a sad selfie on Instagram holding a drink, trying to make light of the situation. A late party for 1 tonight. At least the food is good. Just to see what would happen if anyone would feel bad. That's when I saw it. My best friend Sarah, the one who was supposedly sick with the flu, had posted an Instagram story from a restaurant. She was laughing, holding a cocktail, clearly having the time of her life. But that wasn't the worst part. There's someone in the Mike thing in the background. The same Mike who had a family emergency, and Jessica who was supposedly stuck at work. They were all at Kevin's birthday party at some upscale restaurant downtown. Kevin from my old job. Kevin who I barely knew anymore, who I hadn't talked to in months. They'd all chosen his party over mine. I kept scrolling through stories, my stomach dropping further with each one. Tom, whose car supposedly wouldn't start, was in a group photo raising a champagne glass. Marcus was DJing at their party. The same Marcus I'd hired a DJ for because I knew he loved music. They were having an incredible time, laughing, dancing, taking those group photos that scream best night ever. The same people who'd sent me pathetic excuse texts were literally living it up together across town. The worst part wasn't that they chose Kevin's party. It was that they all lied to me. Not one person had the decency to say, sorry, I have another party to go to. They made up elaborate stories to spare my feelings that made me feel like garbage instead. I sat there until midnight, surrounded by untouched food and decorations that suddenly felt like evidence of my own delusion. The DJ packed up and left, probably thinking I was the most unpopular person he'd ever worked for. The next morning, Sarah texted me, hope your party was amazing, babe. Sorry I missed it. This flu is killing me. She had no idea I'd seen her Instagram stories. She actually thought she could lie to my face and I'd never find out. That's when it really hit me. These weren't my friends. Friends don't lie and disappear when something better comes along. Friends show up, especially when you put your heart into something. I'd spent $400 and weeks of planning for people who saw me as optional. That was 8 months ago. I haven't thrown a party since.